We often carry the assumption that divine use requires us to be finished products. We feel the weight of needing to be polished, complete, and without a single crack before we have any value in a spiritual context. This creates a constant pressure to hide our inadequacies. We treat our unpolished spaces and our moments of emptiness as liabilities that we have to solve on our own before anyone else can see them. When we judge our readiness solely by how much we have to offer, we end up looking for completeness in the very places where we feel most hollow. At the wedding in Cana, the social stakes were high. In this culture, running out of wine wasn't just a minor inconvenience. It was a public failure that brought lasting shame to the host's family. The jars sat in the courtyard, completely dry. This was a moment where human planning had reached its limit, and the hosts were left with a total lack of resources. This raises a question about our own empty moments. What happens to the narrative when our personal ability to provide simply stops? The miracle at Cana suggests reaching the end of our own supply is the specific location where a different kind of power begins to move. When Jesus intervenes, he chooses a method that bypasses the need for ideal conditions. He doesn't create a new vintage out of thin air to solve the problem. Instead, he looks for the raw material that is already present in the environment, regardless of how insufficient it might seem to the people holding it. On a scale of social prestige, plain water and empty stone jars rank near zero. Yet in this miracle, their utility hits 100%. Their lack of inherent complexity allows the coming change to be seen for what it truly is. This reveals the principle of availability. Heaven moves through what is currently available, even if what is available is nothing more than an empty jar. The transformation begins with a simple, practical command: fill the jars with water. This sequence shows obedience serves as the bridge between the empty vessel and the final result. It connects human action to a manifestation beyond human capability. The miracle isn't in the water itself, but in their willingness to offer what little they had. As the water is poured, the properties of the liquid shift. Emptiness is replaced by a physical reality that overflows with abundance. When human surrender meets divine presence, the laws of nature reflect the change, turning a common moment into a testimony of power. While the wedding guests were focused on the wine, the event served a much larger purpose than simply restocking a party. The transformation of water to wine was a physical sign designed to reveal Jesus' identity, showing the fullness of his glory to those present. This miracle redefines how we view our own lack. What we might label as empty, Christ identifies as ready. The moment we reach the end of our own resources is the moment the stage is set for a demonstration of his abundance. You don't have to wait until your life is full or complete before you offer it. By placing your ordinary, everyday life in his hands, those empty spaces become the very places where his power is revealed. Jesus turns our emptiness into abundance and our lives into testimonies of glory. Join us on the Abundance app to discover more.